Hey, now you did the button.
Hey, I did the button. We're live again with another episode of I forgot the name of it.
Unicorn.
Unicorn. It's because we've been talking about Saturday Kitchen and I have that in my head. Yeah, we're back with another episode of Unicorn Chef. I think we're on episode 9 now.
God, they go fast.
Time is flying. And today we are joined by the lovely Starr Deluxe.
And Amy from
And
the
me.
Cyber Escape Room Company.
Yeah,
the Escape Room Company. So many words. I'm sorry.
It's really not that complicated.
So tell me about what is it?
What is it? Should we not tell everyone what we're cooking first?
We're cooking some fucking shit in a pan. It's fine.
Ah.
Okay. Thai beef curry. Well, Amy's right. We'll do the Thai beef curry intro. You say it. It's your recipe.
Yeah. Somehow I'm hosting and doing the recipe. Excellent. Yeah. So we're doing Thai red beef curry because yet again it was some easy shit to throw in a pan, and as I'm sure you've seen with previous episodes, neither of us can cook and talk at the same time, so we had to make it super fucking easy again. So I have everything pre-prepared so it can just go plop into the pan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we're doing beef, vegetables, rice, if you want, on the side.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, we're doing a special episode today with 2 hosts because we're best friends and fancied having a catch up, and this seems like a good way of doing it,
right?
Yeah. And we just got nominated for a podcast award, so we thought we'd
wild
talk about that as well.
It's wild. I think it's incredible with how fast we've kind of come on the scene. We've only got 9 episodes in, and yet we're already making some sort of impression. I attribute that to you, but
no. Although it is the European Cyber Security Bloggers Award. When you get the American ones, I more attribute that to you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. So, do you make this kind of thing often?
Yeah, because it's really quick and easy, and it's all in one pan. So I find anything I can throw into a single pan, reducing the washing up.
And everybody eats it. I know you have a little one.
Yeah. Well, no, Maggie tends to eat earlier than I do anyway. But
same.
Yeah. So I just make enough for 2, and then have it for lunch the next day, or if I'm having a lazy dinner, just warm it up.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
What kind of pan first? The onions?
Did you buy it? I haven't even got onions. They weren't even on the menu. They weren't even on the list.
Oh, you have to include. I'm using. So I'm traveling for work, and I'm basically doing whatever I found in my vegetable drawer. So mine has onions, scallions, lots of them.
Nice.
And spring onions, shishito peppers, bok choy, snow peas, and a bell pepper.
Cool. Well, I mean, you've done what I usually do and gone totally off piste with the recipe, so
completely
fair
freestyle.
Yeah, that's what we like. So we said we were going to talk about our origin story as to how we met each other.
So you and I think we have a different memory, because what I remember is I knew you loosely through Twitter. And then when your call to action came for who wants to get a tattoo with me at DEF CON, I was like, I do. This sounds great.
Yeah. But then we organized that brunch.
Someone did. It was not me.
It wasn't me, but we turned up at a brunch.
I think it was Caitlin, honestly. And I remember actually why. And it's the whole no seat at the table. Fuck you. I'm going to have my own brunch with my own seats. That was the whole.
I think that's an important message. I have reused that message since I went up with other women and said, you don't need to wait for a seat at the table when you build your own fucking table.
Yeah. And make it filled with the people that you want. And frankly, the women that came through for that brunch have been instrumental in my career and just I think more importantly, but in my life and in my mental health and in just pulling each other up at different times, or maybe tapping down a tick. But making sure that we're always there for each other, and it comes through like honestly, genuinely, and wholehearted every time.
I think that's what we need from the women in cyber, women in tech community, because it's quite a lot of women tearing other women down, which we are not here for.
And I thought we were smarter than that. That's the thing. Like, by and large, the women of InfoSec, I'm like, oh my God, I can actually be friends with women.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, the competition is more like, oh my God, you did something rad. Yay, teach me, as opposed to you're taking from me.
Yeah.
And anytime that you can acknowledge somebody else and see them in full and let them be smart, be pretty, be whatever, it's in InfoSec, I feel like it's usually good. So let's keep doing good.
Yes. Let's keep doing good.
And then what happened? Where's our tattoo?
Oh yeah. So I don't even know. I don't know how we picked it.
I picked it, but you picked the font. Hold on. I'm very bad at cameras. Can you tell right there?
Yeah, I can see
And
it.
the best part of this tattoo was we were sitting in this fucking cruddy shop in Vegas and they were like, so what font do you want? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. And Amy, she's like, duh, Comic Sans, extra bold. So that's what we went with.
Yeah, and it was like $100 for like a literal like 3-minute tattoo.
Yep. Is that really loud? Can you tell? You probably can't. So I might put my headphones on.
Yeah, I can literally hear it in the background.
Here, hum.
Oh, thanks. You just I'll just talk. La 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 la. Thanks. Put your headphones in.
So, right, I did that. I hope it worked.
It didn't work. We can still hear the humming.
Oh, I'm gonna stop it. Awesome.
Thanks.
We'll just light the house on fire.
That would be better.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put my onions in before the pan gets any hotter.
Okay, yeah, cool. I'm gonna heat the pan. You're way ahead of me.
I mean, I just had a hot pan.
I know the recipe said vegetable oil, but I only have olive oil, so
I never cook with vegetable oil ever.
I'm gonna use about 9 pounds worth of olive oil now. So I pour in a little bit.
What kind of chilies are you putting in?
I just got standard mixed chilies. Nothing particular, nothing too special.
Okay.
I'm not really into like mega spice, so I normally go with like the mildest chili that I can find.
Yeah. Oh, I feel that. I'm using shishito peppers because I had them.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, they're really yummy. They're these little guys, and sometimes you'll get them with sushi, like in a restaurant like that, and they blister them and put salt on them. They're really good.
Yeah, I like padron peppers.
Huh?
Like padron peppers. We call them padron peppers here.
I've never heard of that, so we're learning, apparently.
Yeah, maybe.
You have weird fucking words for things. I'll be honest.
No, you guys are weird.
English.
Like, what do you call coriander? That's not, you don't call it coriander.
Cilantro.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Or say I don't have a roll of it, but the silver stuff that you put over food. What do you call it? I don't know why you have extra fucking vowels in there. It's weird.
Because it's got a fucking extra vowel in there. You just ignore it.
I know. I'm just.
This is why I refuse to interview Americans on the show. They don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Bitch, I convert the recipe, so I don't want to hear it.
Add a cup of this, and I'm like, which fucking cup? I have loads of cups.
Yeah, I'm like the one with the markings on it, Amy. It's really not that hard.
No, we don't have them here though. We just have.
That's so funny.
Just use a jug and measure shit. You guys are
just
weird.
A jug. What jug? Any jug?
It's got milliliters and yeah, one with markings on it. It's got it doesn't have cups on it though.
Oh, I see. Dude, I had an event actually out in Woburn Forest in what I like to call hell on earth. What was that place called? Probably shouldn't defame them, but
anyway, you mean Center Park?
Yes, that fucking place. Anyway, trying to cook bacon for the team, and I'm like, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. What the fuck does that mean? So I'm just like, I don't know. Fun times.
So we said we were going to talk about our origin story, which we kind of covered. But then we also said we were going to talk about what we do. So how about you go first?
Okay.
Tell us what you do.
What do I do?
Despite as fucking ditzy as you are on this podcast, you actually have a super fucking important job and are a very well respected professional.
Oh, thank you. I love what I do. Honestly, every day that I get to do the job that I do feels like cheating. I work for OWASP from the actual foundation, and I am the director of open source programs and projects for the whole foundation. And that is part fundraising, part shared service, shared resource making, part just making sure people who are like, your code's ugly. I know. That, lots of that. lots of making sure community comes together in a meaningful way towards impact. And really, the reality is that we are the only open source foundation with tooling in this particular space. We definitely need support. We need money. We need contributors. We need volunteers. But also, we're an amazing fucking community. So I tell people when I look, I'm usually sitting at my desk and I look to the right. I have a bookshelf of all the technical books that I've learned from. And I remember very early in my job, I started looking at the spines and going, oh, fuck, that person, I'm on the phone with that person. Oh, like, right. And it was kind of embarrassing and super humbling, but I am impressed by our community every single day. And I truly love what they do. And I'm here to help make the ecosystem of projects functional and happy and healthy.
I think you guys have done a really good job of building a really engaged community, because like,
for sure,
I don't know like any InfoSec professional that's not been to an OWASP event.
Yay, I love to hear that. Our next event is actually in May. It's just in 2 weeks from now in Barcelona. Tickets are still remaining. But more than anything, it's an amazing opportunity to learn from the industry makers, the people not just talking at you, but doing code, going through docs, and also inviting you to collaborate with them. So on that note, though, I think you have a pretty sick job, too.
I do. I'm just going to explain to people what I'm doing with food, though. I've put some garlic and ginger paste in a pan with some oil, and then poured a jar of red curry paste in because I was too fucking lazy to make my own.
Wait, how big is the jar? A whole, oh, okay.
180 grams. Yeah, I just throw it in.
Oh, shit. All right.
And then you want to let that cook for, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes so you can get that aroma going.
Yeah. I'd be curious to compare your ingredients on your jar to mine.
I feel like we're cooking like 2 totally different meals at this point.
I don't think we are. I think it's just going to be like ingredient acquisition, like it's slightly different.
So if I was cooking this with chicken, I would put the coconut milk in first and then
do it.
But I'm cooking it with beef, so I think I'm going to put the beef in first and let it see it, and then I'll put the coconut milk in afterwards.
I concur completely. And I just realized I meant to put mango in here, so I might grab some out.
Oh, cool. I was like super bougie and bought a steak and chopped that up to make it instead of.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
I don't know what a beef strip is, so I'm like, I know what this cut of steak is, so I'm gonna do that.
Well, beef strips is just like you can buy ready cut up beef.
But what part of a beef is it? I barely beef, so don't listen to me.
I don't know. I'm not a butcher, so it was probably the shit bit, which is why I bought a steak and chopped it up.
Precisely. That's exactly it.
Also, I'm going to throw mushrooms in, but I'll do that when I've done the coconut milk, I think. So yeah, what were we saying? Oh, yeah, my job. Yeah, my job's great.
I asked you if your mushrooms are magical, but now I would love to hear about your company.
My mushrooms are not magical, unfortunately. They are just standard sliced ones. If my mum's watching, not magical.
She doesn't even know what a magic one is. It's fine.
My job's pretty cool. I like it.
What is it?
Well, I mean, everyone who watches this probably knows already, but we do security awareness training in the form
What's your company called? Say the name proper.
Well, it's called the Cyber Escape Room Company, but we've actually recently developed it to be a lot more than that. So we're actually focusing on not just security awareness, but also security culture and engagement, which I quite like the acronym of awareness, culture, and engagement, because that means that we are ACE.
Yeah, you are. ACE is one of my favorite expressions, and I think you absolutely meet the definition. But that's also another kind of collaborative area. We have security champions, and security culture is a big topic, especially in our culture track at OWASP. And we have so many experts and friends from that give their resources freely, and would love to encourage businesses like yours to adopt them and share them wider.
I talk to companies all the time, and they're like, "We can't really afford to work with you, but have you got any ideas of things that we can do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I have. There's loads of stuff you can do in cyber culture to improve that culture without breaking the bank."
Right. Like, what's your favorite idea from that space?
I mean, in implementing a security campaign program within your organisation doesn't really cost you anything.
Yeah.
It's a bit of time, obviously, but if your budget is short in terms of finances, then you're not going to get anything without time or money. So I guess you've got to put some time into it.
Time, and I think what you can do for free across organization, I think whether it's a paid thing or not, I think it's imperative, but it's to help people walk through getting business buy-in, because it's wonderful if one human or a team of humans wants to be champions. Cool. How are they going to be supported? How are they going to actually?
Yeah, what are you going to give them? What are you going to give them to kind of support that business? But I think there's lots of different, I think, kind of activities that companies can be doing. I think people tend to focus on like the technical stuff rather than focusing on what's relevant to people. Which is why, like, a lot of the content that we put out there is about personal cybersecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
like as an individual.
I mean, I had this discussion this morning with a guy, and I must have this discussion on every podcast I ever go on. Yeah. When I worked at a big business, we used to regularly get told that if we get phished, the company's data will go missing, and might get ransomware, and the business would be like shut down for a few days or whatever. Okay. I heard that and was like, cool, I have 3 days off work if I click some links. Clicky, because it's not. That wasn't. Where's the fucking bonus to me? I'm not clicking. There's nothing there. There's nothing there that tells me this is a bad idea for you to click. The company's data is missing. Don't give a fuck.
Wow, I love it.
It's not my business. Now I would
get that. Like, never in a million years would my brain have gone there. But the fact that yours did shows why you're exactly positioned right to do the job you do. Because I believe you, and holy fuck, that's wild. But also, you're probably not alone, and it's probably just a missed. Like, my lens is a little different.
If I thought it, someone else has thought it. I mean, 100%. Sure, I have lots of original thoughts, but that's not one of them.
Right. I love that. The fact that you get real with companies, I know, is what I most often hear in general from the community and from people that I interact with that have also worked with you. They very much appreciate your candor. So thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah. I think if you can make it personal and make it relatable to people, then you're going to get much better buy-in from those people. I think that's where a lot of companies go wrong. They make it so fucking boring and dull. Like the amount of my friends that message me when they join new companies, and then they send me a screenshot of the training that they're getting, and they're like, I'm on slide 35 of 70, and this is so fucking boring. And on the screen, it's like teaching you about man in the middle attack.
Yeah. What? Like, that's so irrelevant. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like, we need to know about that inside, like, the technical people.
Yes.
But what actually do people need to know about man in the middle attacks? Like, standard end users, not fucking much.
Like, yeah, without security awareness with no context of how it actually might come through to the user being impacted is just fucking nonsense.
It's horseshit.
Yeah.
Absolute horseshit. But that seems to be like people want to throw the kitchen sink at people.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to teach you about all of the cybersecurity now in one go, and then you're going to remember it for what?
I bet it's because it's made by engineers, right? People putting together the material probably have a technical background, and then they're like, I think these things are super important, but SQL injection means jack shit to your receptionist. Like, that's.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. It means pretty much jack shit to me, and I work in cyber, so.
But perfect example, though. So it's okay.
So some people will be like, you don't really work in cyber, Amy, because you work in security awareness. And I get told that regularly. Literally, a guy on LinkedIn the other week was like, you don't even work in cyber, though. I was like, mate, I literally own a fucking cyber business, and you're open to work. So you don't work in cyber. You just don't work.
I love it. I love it so much.
Like, what the fuck? But anyway, I digress.
When does the fish shit go in?
Oh, that goes. Have you put your coconut milk in?
No, because I need to sear my beef. I was letting the vegetables get to my done.
I've seared the beef, and then I've put coconut milk in, and I've put
the whole can
in. Huh?
The whole can?
The whole thing of what?
Coconut milk. All of it.
Okay. No, Yeah, no, I feel like that's similar for a bit.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, I've not paid any attention to timings at all, but I'll just do it by eye, I guess.
Yeah. So, I lost a guy.
You are super quiet when this is over there, by the way.
Oh shit, that must mean I'm still on the microphone. I don't even need these then.
Yeah.
You're still quiet, that means you still hear that, and I've just been annoyed. I don't know how to deal with it. It's fine.
Yeah, I thought you worked in tech.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of tech. This is AV. I hate AV. I pretend it doesn't exist.
I feel like of everyone's family when they. Now I can hear myself echoing.
Ah!
Now I don't know what you're doing. Oh. Yeah. Is that better? Can you hear me?
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah,
okay,
you're
cool.
fine.
Yeah, I feel like if anyone works in tech and then they go to their family, they literally pile all of their fucking technical woes on you. Doesn't matter what area of tech you work in. Like I get asked about printers, MacBooks, how do I edit this PDF? Can you do this PowerPoint? Canva. I'm like, Canva is in my wheelhouse, but also just because it's on a computer doesn't mean I know how to do it. But it just seems to be I get asked any question about any computer.
Welcome to the club, Amy.
It's an
senior citizen tech force. That's what it is all the time.
Yeah, I preferred it. Yeah, but the funny thing is, my mum lives with my 21-year-old brother, and she still saves all the questions for me. And I'm like, no, ask him. We have a load between us.
Yeah. Hey, I had to have my kids show me how to deal with Zoom when I first started to have to Zoom all the time. Like I was like, I don't know, can they see me? Can they hear me? I'm like, oh my god, so boomer. What is wrong with me? I don't know. But so DEF CON. I hope you come to DEF CON this year. We're trying to line up budgetary stuff, but
I mean, I would love to come to DEF CON because Hacker Summer Camp is fucking awesome. I mean, to be honest, when I went to DEF CON, the only actual thing I went to was that brunch.
Yeah.
And then the subsequent pool party that I went to the next day.
I love that. And I love that DEF CON can be whatever you want it to be. But for me, it was like Mecca. It's where my friends are, and it feels legitimately like coming home every summer. And I went by myself the first time, and I think that was the year I actually met you. Like I wanted the agenda of in the building with the badge doing the stuff.
Yeah.
So I spent most of my time in there. But from that entire experience, I made friends, and I wouldn't not like walking up and be like, hey, let's talk, because like who does that?
I do that. That's what I do.
And that, yeah, I'm terrified. No, so you'll see me at cons, and I'm usually before I go, I'm like, hey, if you see me, I am way more nervous than you, so just come say hi to me, and I will be loving saying hi to you.
Excuse me, did you not hear my mingling lesson? Oh no, I think you were late to my conference where we had the mingling lesson.
I do know it was you have to repeat it, and I think it was pretty raunchy, but I enjoyed it thoroughly.
There's no raunchy.
It was raunchy.
It wasn't. All you do is you shimmy and say, hey.
That was not what I heard. That was normal.
What did you hear?
It was something like a kick in the vagina or something. Like I don't recall.
No, that was Kelly doing the running fuck slap.
There you go.
That was if anyone went over time. Kelly, my previous co-host at a conference, was going to run on stage and slap you while she was running. She calls that a running fuck slap.
There you go.
No, the mingling lesson is you just shimmy over to people and say, "Hey, I'm mingling here."
Yeah,
because
that's smart.
Like, oh, I kind of know what you want. Like, I know how to start the conversation now. Cool. Hi.
Yep.
It takes the awkward out of it because we're taking the piss out of it.
It 100% does, and that strategy makes perfect sense. For me, I put the shit in my Twitter because I'm like, that's where I get known from, and I recognize people from. So the bi-directional shit, I'm here, say hi, it works out. But the other thing that worked out incredibly well was Lonely Hackers Club. And I don't know that I would have felt as confident going to DEF CON alone without at least some lifeline into another human being that I had previously talked to. Yeah. And the thing is that we never leave. So that's, I think, 4 years ago at this point. And we're now a community of about 1,200 people. There's a DEF CON community room for Lonely Hackers Club. And there's one I'm part of a few groups. Can I tell you all about them? Do shield of the community. So Lonely Hackers Club Diana Initiative, which is our charity for the day, and we'll have something up on the Chiron down below. And then the OWASP community room. All three of us will be there with kind of intermixed activities where we're all collaborating with one another and trying to uplift, upskill. We've got resume reviews. We've got, we're helping with the CTF from Blue Team Village and Red Team Village. We are having a workshop, the Jason Haddock's career workshop in the OWASP space. We're doing resume reviews in Lonely Hackers. We've got noob tours with Diana Initiative. There's a lot going on, but that's where I'll be.
Yeah, I think the resume review thing is a really, really cool idea. I mean, I used to do them when I run a Discord community.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that you can help, even if someone only looks over your CV for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. Because I used to get asked for them a lot. I'd be like, guys, I don't really have time to sugarcoat stuff. So I'm just going to run through it and be like, this bit's shit. Try adding some of this stuff in. Don't give a fuck about these skills. Here's some other skills that you should think about. List some transferable skills. Also, here's a template. Off you go. But it literally doesn't. People think, oh, I've got to spend like fucking hours doing it. No, you don't. If you know what you're talking about with a CV, anyone who's hired people before, or anyone who's written a CV, a decent CV before, should be able to, give some pointers. Then you can do it in 10, 15 minutes, as long as you say to the person, like, don't get offended that I'm not going to sit and tell you every single positive about it. I'm just going to tell you the shit you need to change. But the amount of people that have come back to me since I've done that and been like, wow, you helped me so much with getting a role or whatever. And I think that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're not sitting there for you to be polite to them. Like, obviously, I think everybody should be kind. However,
I was not rude.
Fast, efficient, and honest. And saying clearly, this sucks. Don't do that. Do X. That advice is so hard to come by. People dance around it and don't actually tell you what to do. They might say, well, best practices are blah, 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 or give you the LinkedIn answer. But like, fuck that. That's not useful. What you're saying is perfectly useful. So I do that for 5 minutes, and then I give them question time for 5 minutes, and then I'm done. I don't want to keep talking because nothing's going to change. Like that initial assessment, guess who's looking at your shit and making that assessment? Because I would never spend 5 minutes assessing an inbound resume. It takes me about a minute and a half. So
if you're doing 5 minutes, that's a lot longer.
That's a lot of time. So we're doing that.
I'm quite happy actually now to give some very quick pointers on what you should do on a resume, which is
fuck yeah, go for it.
Always have a personal profile. The amount of CVs that I see where it's got no bio at all, and I'm like, bro, who are you?
Who are you, right?
You're not just a list of qualifications, especially if you're new into the industry. Like, you're not just a list of qualifications. You can't just say. And you've got very limited job experience, and we need to know who you are and what you're about. And the way I tell people to structure that bit of their CV is to say who you are and what you're currently doing, what you're interested in doing. So like, I want to be a red teamer, I want to be a stock analyst, I want to be a GRC person. And what are you currently doing to get there? Show that you're actually doing something to move you in that direction.
That's great advice.
That's what you need to put in there. You don't need to sit there and be like, I'm a highly motivated individual. Well, you should fucking be. You're looking for a job. Not motivated.
Don't say the obvious. Like, I get that. Like, I think out of the box, or like, and I get where these things come from, but also you don't have to subscribe to that. Do what Amy's saying, because that is precisely right. Tell me in like 2 sentences. Don't write me an entire sheet about you. I want 2 sentences in the 3 areas she described, and that will be valued almost equally to your experience.
Yeah, and then any experience that you do have, find the fucking transferable skills in it. Don't just write a list of tools that you've previously used.
Right.
The amount of CVs where I see, it's like, I can use Nmap, John the Ripper, Nessus, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, great, that's not interesting. Like, who are you? What can you do? Are you good under pressure? Are you good at stress management? Are you good at timekeeping? Are you good at communication? Are you good at working in a team? Are you good, like, what are your personal strengths, your soft skills? Because that's the shit that we miss a lot in cyber as well. So it's not just like, here's some tools I can use, because
Everybody can use tools.
Everybody can learn.
But also taking and cross-referencing. So say you're a pizzeria owner and you want to say that you are able to run things on time, right?
Yeah.
Convert that into whatever the job thing says about mission critical deadlines being blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't fucking matter if it's pizza. If you're astute enough to read the thing, correlate it for the dum-dum who's interviewing you, you'll go a lot further.
Yeah.
Don't call them dum-dums.
Yeah, don't do that in your interview. But yeah, pulling all those transferable skills out, I think that's the most valuable bit, because otherwise you're saying that your past experience is worthless when it isn't.
Yeah.
You definitely learned something from
that
experience.
100%. I love that advice. Maybe we'll be able to sponsor Amy to come out and do resume reviews with us in person.
I hope the fuck not. I have done very many resume reviews in my life, and
it's funny. It's finding we're gonna have a call for volunteers, but basically, I'm trying to convince the group that the maximum ask you can have somebody sit and do this activity for is 1 hour. I'm like, stop trying to make this into 4-hour sets, because you can go fuck off with that. I'm not doing that.
No, I could not do 4 hours of that. I would. No.
I think you would lose me. I would just literally wander off, because I'd be so bored I'd forget what I was doing. But we do actually give a shit about helping people understand how to contextualize and join our industry. So that's not why. It's just
I feel like what you should do though is like find. I mean, I'm sure I've got a talk on LinkedIn on YouTube about it somewhere. You kind of contextualize. Here's how to run that. Here's the process. Now personalize that process for you. So I can give you the process, because the process is the fucking same for everyone.
Awesome.
Writing a CV is the same for everyone.
Yeah, it is.
It's just the context that's different.
True.
So then all you need to do is get someone to help you look and go, oh no, okay, so you've misunderstood the context there. And then that should be simple. Well,
and I would tell you that this is not just for new people. And one of my personal struggles coming from, I left my last role I was with for 22 years in a few different positions, but 22 fucking years leaves a lot of, I haven't had to have a resume. And it was particularly challenging for me to do that going into technical roles. So having somebody in a technical role help me assess my own shit was amazing.
We have currently brown sugar in this meal, by the way.
Yeah.
And a tablespoon. Oh, you have tablespoons there, right? I'm just checking. We are on a totally fucking different planet. Tablespoon of fish sauce.
Yep. Yeah. Did it.
Yeah, you're right. People who've been in a company for a long time, or people who've never kind of made that jump up to manager role, but they've been like a senior. They've gone from like junior, like regular consultant, senior consultant, and now they're like ready to jump to manager. I've done quite a few CV reviews where I'm helping people like show that managerial experience without them actually having any managerial experience. But it's like a manager CV looks a lot different to like a senior consultant CV, because you're not sitting there going, here's all the tools I can use. It's like, here's the people that I can manage. Here's how I prioritize things. Here's how I strategize for the team.
Right. And that was effectively the exact position that I had coming from the C-suite and going into things that I genuinely wanted. Like yes, I was doing fractional CISO stuff, but I'm very happy in my role. I found my home, and this is really what I wanted to do. And answering the question of, why are you doing this? What's your defect? Which is basically what they were saying, down to, I remember my favorite interview question, this brain dead dolt, he was like, yeah, so tell us about a scenario where somebody, you tried to get them to do something and they wouldn't do it. And I'm like, truthfully, I was the president of the company, and that was a non-issue for me. That's a shitty answer, but it was honest. So it got so bad that I had to invent scenarios. I'd get to the end of it and say, then I'd say the part that I said just now about being from the C-suite and they had to listen. But it showed at least that I was trying to acknowledge their ridiculous question.
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue with finding a job in cyber is that some people, like, HR writes the job description quite a lot of the time.
Right.
Which is horseshit. Because HR don't understand the job.
Well, they take feedback and then they cherry pick it and formulate it into the words. And then the words get posted and screened, and then maybe make it to the next round of reviewing, and then you're like 3 rounds deep before an engineer might see your shit.
Have you tasted that sauce? It's fucking gorgeous.
No, it's very orange.
Yeah, it should be. That's the vibe. I just like to make it a bit thicker now, so I just leave it to cook for a bit.
Yeah. No potato starch or cornstarch?
Nah, I don't really bother with that. I just like
that is gorgeous. That's really good.
See?
It needs spice.
I'm not just a pretty face and a great brain. I'm also fucking cracking in the kitchen. So
look at you go.
I know.
That's really good, Amy. Nice one. But I made that pot roast last night. I was really advocating for Mississippi pot roast, and she's like, fuck that, it's hot. And I just got back from holiday. I'm like, okay, fine, we'll do this one. But in the near future, we'll definitely have to do that together, because it was stupid easy and it was so good.
Yeah, but you're not just throwing everything in a slow cooker?
In an Instant Pot, yeah, you don't have to. You can put it in the oven, but also there are cooking steps where you sear it and then
you know that
things to make it better.
I mean, I'm from England, where that's the kind of shit we only eat on a Sunday. So that's a Sunday dinner.
Yeah, I feel that. It's a Sunday dinner here too, except fuck it. I don't really live by days of the week. Like my weeks run together.
I mean, so, I'm very much about all breaking the rules and shit, but you can't eat a Sunday dinner on any other day. It's just wrong. Okay. I think I finally found my boundary with rule breaking.
Oh no.
I know.
Sunday dinner in the middle of the week. Fuck you. But I guess here's the thing: is it only took 70 minutes in the Instant Pot that it became easy enough to make in the middle of the week. And I think the thing with Sunday dinners is usually they take so long to cook that you want to kind of do the thing.
Yeah, there's lots of coordination. In fact, that could be a skill that you put on a CV. Can you make a Sunday dinner? Because you have to fucking coordinate so many things that all happen at the same time.
But the real skill is doing it on a Tuesday.
Excellent project man. Well, that's just because you're weird if you're doing that on a Tuesday. But that would be excellent project management.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like the spice direction of this. I think it needs more, and that's probably because I didn't use the proper little spicy chili. I used the whatever I said, the shishitos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add some sriracha.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
and some red chili flake.
You have gone so off pace. It's unreal, but
I bet you though, when we pull our dishes together minus the vegetables, they'll look identical.
Yeah, probably. As long as the sauce is the same, the rest of it's fine.
Fuck it. That's the beauty of curry.
Yeah, that's why I've cooked one nearly every fucking week.
Yeah. So tell me about this really sick AI thing that you're working on for fishing. Is that right?
Yeah. So we've called it Control Fish, and I say we've called it that. ChatGPT called it that because if you're going to make an AI tool, you just
right.
So that was the winner out of the ones that I got. Control Fish. So we've seen that vision. So here's an actual statistic about vision. So voice phishing rose by 442% in Q4 of last year, and we've seen several attacks that have originated with social engineering on the phone, like just in the last year or so. I think the MGM attack that was voice
good
phishing.
Old scattered spider. We love them. Yeah, they exhausted that.
They're attacking a few retail companies in the UK at the moment with the same.
Marks and Spencer. Can I pause because I'm gonna forget? But Marks and Spencer and their super authentic letter from their CEO about their current situation. Kudos. That was fucking solid.
So do you know what's actually really interesting? So obviously there's Marks and Spencer's, there's Co-op, and then there's Harrods, who are all 3 British retailers.
Right.
Marks and Spencer's and Co-op are ones that you might see like in town. Harrods is like London, whatever.
Fancy.
But Co-op, as far as I know, I've not seen that many comms come from Co-op. So you guys do you. That's totally cool. That's your instant response plan, whatever. But the interesting thing is, on the residents page for my village, people were posting being like, "Is the Co-op shutting down because it's got no food in it?"
Oh no!
Like, yeah, I think it must be. We must be getting something else there instead. And I was like, "No, guys, it's not shutting down. It's being attacked, and there's no
right."
But there's no comms about it. So I think they are at the risk of losing local. I mean, because of the lack of comms, and like I'm not judging anyone that's under a cyber attack, like totally get it, like you going through.
I am. First of all, there's reporting requirements, and while I have empathy for the situation, there are things, and it's illogical to not report. So co-op, take a page out of Marks and Spencer's book and fucking do something correctly, and you might gain not only a business after the incident, but also like, you know, not feel so shitty today. Like doing the right thing, even when it feels like you're in a shitty situation, I think always is the move. And I think they exemplified that.
Yeah, I think the co-op, I mean, just from anecdotal evidence, has been losing customers. But I mean, they are prioritizing putting food where there's in locations where there's no other shops.
That makes sense.
So we've got to divert.
But they should talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. I think if they spoke about that, that would be a good news story, because they're saying like, oh, we still care about the community and we care about our members, because it's like membership owned. So we still care about our members and all this stuff. But then the funny thing is that people on this residence page are like, oh, why don't they just get some new distributors? And why don't they just ring up some new suppliers? And I'm like, hey, that's not how that works, is it? They're not going to just pick up the fucking phone and be like, all right, greengrocers down the road, can we have some apples, please?
Right.
Like,
no, it's so funny.
No fucking chain.
Dude, I had funny. I have a BMW, and the day that the managed service provider had the major incident, that it was a global incident, but it mainly affected dealerships here. So like, you could not get your car into service, out of service. They had no insight into anything, and I kept getting this runaround from the dude, and I was like, listen, I told you that this is a real fucking incident, and then I reported it. It was my one attributed citation with VX Underground, but I was like, no, this is real. This is actually going to keep going. And then it proceeded for another like 3 or 4 weeks. So I was like, can I just have my car back? I'm like, I'll come back. It's fine.
Yeah.
They were like, no, it'll be fine. I'm like, no, it won't be fine.
No, it definitely won't be. Yeah, because it's not just like getting the attack under control, but then it's then like recovering stuff after that, which is,
it's a fucking nightmare. It's always a nightmare, but you know, it's something we should definitely be prepared for, and can be prepared for, and can deal with without it being the end of your business.
Yeah.
Well,
that's circling back to what we were talking about originally, the AI vision tool that we're building.
Please.
So we're using it as a training tool for people. So initially you'll be able to, so we've created some AI voices that have got like regional accents. A lot of AI is like, sounds like Siri. Right. So we've created, so the first one that we've got has got my voice, very similar to my voice, which is entirely coincidental. But we created one with a Brooklyn or Boston, I can't remember now, but we created one or the other. We created one of them today.
Very different, but
I knew I've not listened to it enough to remember.
Right.
But yeah, so we can create regional accents with them, and then what we're going to do is push that into companies, and they can ring it, and they can set up, so people can ring it, they can set up their own scenario, they can learn from the AI, so they can set up the scenario and say, okay, try phishing some IT details out of me, like my credentials, or try getting me to send an invoice to someone, or try getting me to share some personal information. And then you can, so then it'll go, okay, cool, tell me your name, tell me the company you work for, are you ready? And then you go, and then it'll start trying to scam you. So then you give it some answers, and then at the end, it'll say, okay, so here was the tactics that I was using as part of this.
Right.
So these are the things that you should look out for. And then once we've done that a couple of times, and people have got comfortable with it and kind of learned the different tactics that it's using, then we'll set off within like the next 3 months. It will randomly ring you at some point in the next 3 months. Yeah. And just test whether you.
I love that.
And if you still haven't picked up on it, that's cool. It will still tell you what it's doing at the end. Right. So it'll still give you the insight, but it's not. It's education. It's not meant to be a mean got you.
It's not meant to be in the spirit of penalizing somebody for failing. The whole point is literally learn by example, learn by having it happen to you in a very controlled setting, and then be prepared, because in this span of time, we will be sampling or retesting at random. And I feel like that's beautiful, because it gets people, until people have it happen to them, they don't quite believe it, or they don't quite know the logical steps to get you there. So in the past, there used to be things where people would set up phishing attacks, send bunches of emails, their people would click, and then they'd have ratios and leaderboards and things like walls of shame and just
Yeah,
shitty
bullshit.
managerial techniques, which one is not your problem, but two is not even what this is encouraging. What this is encouraging is showing people real world scenarios that are currently in use by everybody else, except we're controlling it to show it to them, letting them play with it, be part of it, and then telling them you will be tested on this in the future. So stay vigilant or whatever.
Yeah, and I think everyone's going to get tested. It's just what the company does with the information after we give them it. I mean, I can't fucking control that. If your company culture's horse shit, then that's a you problem. That's not a me problem.
Correct. But people don't do that. Don't manage people through shame. It does not work. Thank you.
Exactly. But I'm giving people the tools to do it right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's super inspired, and I think it's funny. I actually went to somebody I knew 15 years ago who was one of the original like virus hunters who wrote the he writes things for actual like virus engines or anomaly detection. So he'd go out and find the thing and then put it into the rule set so that it can be defended against.
Yeah, cool.
And I was like, Ben, I wanted to do the other thing, except less shame. Like I didn't care to call people out. I just wanted to know from a data standpoint, how many of my people had heard everything I had tried to teach them in the years prior.
Yeah.
And that was 15 years ago. And then it got this weird, I think there was a really weird trend in the middle where people were doing the shameful managerial stuff. And I'm just like, well, they're just shitty managers. Like, that's not, it's a great idea. And I think it is hands-on learning. And I think it's showing people what it feels like.
Yeah, it's showing people what it feels like. And it's also like, I think people, like you said, people don't believe that this shit happened.
How could you? Because it sounds like fiction. It sounds like science fiction.
Yeah, but when you hear the voices that the AI that we're using got, it sounds, because I think people always think AI is literally going to sound like Siri or sound like a robot.
Hello, do you want to send me gift cards? Like,
yeah,
no,
or like when they do that voice distortion on their fucking anonymous videos or whatever. But it doesn't sound like that. It's actually really clever, and especially like the deep fake stuff that you can do.
Right.
So
it's spooky.
So I found some deep fake video software, and I'm gonna have a go with that just to see how accurate it is to me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play with that at some point this week, I think.
So it's funny. I actually just made a deep fake in an effort to. What I did was I took a still photo. And then I animated her to be walking on stage about to give a talk because I was making a marketing promo video and I wanted our actual keynote speaker to be shown like not just in a flat picture.
Yeah.
And a colleague actually had a daughter who was having wild internet activity occurring. And this child is like 6, 7, a small one. And I used that little tidbit to show her how easy it was because the problem had been involving photographs. So I was like, let me show you how this can actually be compounded into something the child very much didn't expect. But it was, obviously just a lady walking on stage. Yeah. So it was from a flat headshot at this angle to a full body, hi, I'm here. Like, that's wild.
Yeah,
and it took me less than a minute.
Yeah, so I think the one that I'm using is called Hey Jen. And it needs like 2 minutes of you talking into the camera and doing like whatever natural actions that you do or whatever. And then you can, after that, just type in a script and it will be you saying the script.
Yep.
Which is insane. So I've not played with it yet, so I can't tell you exactly like how accurate.
Ooh, can you do a whole hosted cooking show? Can you tell? Can we aim for that? At least an intro.
We should literally do one where we just type out we'll just send it our WhatsApp chat and then it can just.
Oh God. Oh fuck.
No,
I don't know that it should have our chat.
I'm just thinking, what did we recently just talk about? No, that's not
right. No, but it would be fun to see how good it could make us, and maybe we could iterate and get feedback. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like fucking it up, Amy. Why not?
So I have finished cooking.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. Well, so I'll show you what mine. I'll show you yours if you show me mine. No, I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
That sounds wild.
I know. Can you see it on the camera?
Yeah, I'm terrified. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's like a nice, Nice burnt orangey color.
I'm a little afraid of picking up this wok because I need to get a wing nut on it.
Yours is way redder than mine.
It is, but I used red chili paste, like a whole bunch.
Yeah, did you not use red Thai chili paste, red Thai curry paste? What did you use?
I did, precisely.
Thai. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think that was redder than mine. Fair.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as it tastes good.
Yeah, I don't even know what makes it this red other than like literally nothing. I don't understand. It just says spices. Whatever. I see nothing red in the ingredient list, but it's bionic red.
This one's got 14% red chili, so I'd guess it was that.
Usually it's paprika.
Yeah,
to make it the color.
Fair.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
I think we're finished. Serve rice and chuck some of your ginger matchsticks on top of it. Ta-da!
They go on top of that?
Yeah. Did you throw them in? Have you already cooked with them?
I didn't want a matchstick of ginger, so I shaved mine and put it in.
Weirdo. No, they're nice and fresh on top.
Weirdo.
Some cilantro.
I got mine right here.
There you go. Easy peasy.
All right, bestie.
Oh, and
thank you so much.
We forgot wine of the week. Once again, French red.
I had 2 shots of tequila. Fuck the wine.
It's getting predictable now, but there we go. Wine of the week.
Enjoy your dinner. I'll enjoy my lunch.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for coming, and we will see you again. I think next week.
Hell yeah!
Someone's on next week. We'll someone.
It's gonna be you. Hey.
Hey.
She said no. Bye. Hey, babe.